Welcome to uARFIDwhatueat, a channel where we deal with some of the issues that somebody with avoidant restrictive food intake disorder deals with on a daily basis. My name is Chris. Today we're going to be trying out a food, and that food is the orange. Look, it's so orange because it's an orange. Okay, so my experiences with oranges. I've had them before, but it's been a very long time. Generally speaking, I didn't really like them very much. I found the flavor to be okay, but I found the texture to be kind of strange. Kind of this weird, squishy texture. I have drank a fair amount of orange juice in my life, preferably pulp-free. I find pulp disgusting, and that actually leads back to part of why I didn't like oranges a lot growing up. They always have this stringy pulp quality going on. I don't like that. Not a fan of that whatsoever. But all of that said, I didn't really like orange juice much. I still really don't. But for today, the appearance looks good. You know, it's a nice looking fruit. It has a nice, bright, generically orange gasp color to it, which I really like. It's fairly consistent throughout. It does kind of have a bit of a textured surface, and there is a touch of bruising on here. You can see up close, like you'll see things like that little bruise right there. And generally when I'm eating, that kind of little bruising right there is exactly what I'm trying to avoid. And fruits and vegetables are they're so constantly prey to this kind of thing, unfortunately. It still looks pretty good to me, and the texture at the end of the day on the surface isn't that big of a deal because I'm not going to be eating the surface of this. I'm going to be skinning this. So let's just get right down to that. Before I skin this real quick though, let's have a smell of it before we actually open it up. Already smells pretty nice, actually. I find some fruits and vegetables won't really have a smell until you cut them open, but no, this right away has a nice floral smell to it. That's very nice. A nice citrusy smell. All right, let's skin this thing. I don't skin oranges. I think it's called the rind. So I just don't eat things like this usually, so I'm not used to removing the rind or whatever off of this. So hopefully I do this right. Okay. I think I'm starting to get it. Ooh, as soon as I cut even just a little slice of that off, oh my goodness. Oh. That smells really good. Skin an orange. Skins. Maybe let's just cut this in half. Maybe that'll be easier. Okay, now we have a nice, clean intersection of an orange there. It smells really nice, but right away I can see what I don't like about it. The texture changes quite dramatically running through the middle here. There's this kind of a just white section right in the middle, and then there's the actual the meat of the fruit, I suppose, just running along the inside here, and it's so like veiny and stringy. That just looks not appealing to me. That looks kind of gross. Ooh, it's nice and like juicy. Although juice can go either way for me. If it's too juicy, I tend to not like that. But a little bit of juice can be okay. Let's give that just juice a lick. Tastes good. Gotta say that. Like, there's a good flavor there. So you can see here what I'm saying here. There's a lot of inconsistency to the texture here. Right through the middle there tends to be like this white thing, which doesn't look very good. And then there's just all this veininess and stringiness happening around the sides there. And then there's like this just patch of, I don't know why this section's more orange than the rest, but I'm not into stuff like that. I want a consistent texture for whatever I'm eating. It's yucky. As I'm cutting this too, you can, like, it starts to see, at least from my perspective here, that orange section I was talking about earlier, that's just a little more orange, is that way inside as well. Or I should say this section's a lot brighter. This section's a lot darker and more vibrant in the coloration. I wish it could just stay the same way all the way through. I have myself a little itty bitty slice of orange here. And again, the smells really good. Don't like that texture. I can tell already. That's like stringy, veiny. It's very juicy, so it's going to explode all over me. Thank goodness the flavor's actually not that bad. A nice, light, bright, citrusy flavor. Not too strong, but that's just from licking my fingers here from the juice. I bet when I bite into this, it's going to be a lot stronger. Okay, bite of orange. Here we go. Really not too bad, actually. I thought the texture was going to be more resistant. It kind of just melts in your mouth. It's not nearly as stringy and veiny as I thought it would be. It certainly looks that way. When you take a bite, it's actually not nearly as bad. Wow, that's actually really tasty. Clearly it's been a long time since I've tried an orange because I don't remember them tasting this good. Maybe I've just come a little further along in my eating journey. Well, now I'm starting to get some stringy stuff left over in my mouth though. Don't like that. I don't want it to hang around. When I take a bite of something, I want it to be in and out, done. I don't want it hanging around. Yeah, this one's got more of a texture to it visually. Not so great. But now I know that it tastes good. Hopefully I can kind of wrap my head around that. It explodes. I don't like that. The juice can relax a little. But that flavor is pretty good. Now it's starting to catch up to me a little bit though, that flavor. It's not as good the more I eat it. And the orange is starting to get stuck in my teeth a little bit. Not into that nearly as much. My fingers are starting to get really sticky. I should have assumed that this would be a really juicy and kind of messy experience. I think I'll try to, if I'm eating this, I'm gonna want to keep it nice and focused to that middle area. Not the middle area where there's that white stuff running through it here. Like this white thing right here. Maybe I should try a piece of that to kind of get a sense of that. Okay, now we got a big old slice here, and it has a piece of that middle section right there, that white part. Okay, and this is dripping everywhere. Middle section of an orange. Here we go. Oh, it exploded everywhere. Oh, the texture's awful on that part. Oh. Chew it, work on it. Let it sit for a bit. My initial reaction is just to run from this, spit it right out. You can see that sometimes in these videos. There'll be a visceral reaction where I'm literally like, I got it. That was one of those examples right now. But I overcame it. I told myself I had to stop and just let it sit. Let your mouth familiarize with it, which is something I so rarely do. When I'm trying something, I'm usually so scared of it. As soon as it touches my mouth, I just want it to get the heck out. So there's value in just kind of chewing on something for a bit and showing yourself it's not that big of a deal. I still didn't like that middle texture though. It had a thicker quality to it, and the flavor lost some of its luster there. But the rest is still pretty good. Say if I can just avoid that middle section and kind of just chew around these fleshy parts, it's not too bad. So overall thoughts on oranges here. I like the appearance, it's not too bad. When I cut it open, it becomes less appealing. I don't like that fleshy quality in the middle there. It's not as exciting, and I wish it was more consistent through. It smells great, very citrusy, very bright. The taste is actually pretty good, to my surprise. I find orange juice has actually more of like an acidic quality, whereas this tastes more citrusy and more direct, more sweet, I suppose I should say. So I'm surprised by that. I didn't think it was going to be like that. The mouthfeel is actually okay. It kind of melts in your mouth. It doesn't hang around too much, but there is a touch of stringiness and little loose pieces that can kind of get stuck in your mouth. That's never really something I'm excited about. But yeah, all of that said, orange, pretty good. Better than I thought it would be. Could I see myself eating one of these? Maybe a slice or two. I don't see myself eating a lot of this. The texture was already beginning to bother me the further along I went. The juiciness is just a little too overwhelming. I don't like when something is just extremely explode in your mouth juicy. That's not for me usually. But a slice or two of this, maybe even, half an orange or something like that, I could see myself getting through that. And for someone like myself, that's quite an accomplishment. So these little victories count quite a bit. Orange, pretty cool. I think we'll meet again. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. This is uARFIDwhatueat. My name is Chris, and hopefully we'll catch you back for the next food. Have a great day. Take care. Hopefully we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.